Hello, everyone, and welcome to Littlefield Live Streaming. Tonight we have Pop Culture Trivia, Star Wars Edition. Now please welcome your host, Rob.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's hot under there. It is Wednesday night. You are watching Littlefield's live stream. That can only mean one thing. Well, it's only one thing this week. It can only mean one thing, and that is it is time for some pop culture trivia. We are going to give everyone some time to filter in. Everyone. So let us, I think it might be muted here. Anyway, let us begin. We've got 5 mini rounds of trivia for you tonight. The theme, of course, it's May the 6th. May the 6th be with you. We're talking Star Wars tonight. They are loosely based on Star Wars, these questions. Turns out that I did mute myself accidentally. So let me introduce myself again. My name is Rob Blatt. I will be your host. You are watching Littlefield's live stream. It's Wednesday night. It's pop culture trivia. The theme, of course, May the 6th be with you. Wednesday didn't fall on May the 4th this year. So it's May the 6th be with you. So we've got, like I said, 5 mini rounds of questions. We've got 3 questions per round, 15 questions. We've got prizes tonight too. So let us at least get a little bit of background on this. So the first thing that I do want to talk about is Save Our Stages. Hashtag Save Our Stages. Tickets and donations for tonight's trivia will be benefiting the staff of Littlefield. There's also a curbside pickup at Park Life. So for next week, when we've got trivia again, you can grab yourself some tacos and margarita pitchers before the live stream, so you can get that Littlefield and Park Life experience right before you hop online. I want to thank everyone for coming and participating and supporting the hospitality industry. If you want to contribute more than you already have tonight, or maybe you're here live on YouTube or on Zoom, and you want to give a little bit more, Littlefield does have a GoFundMe campaign, and they do have gift cards for live shows and gift cards for food and drink. Littlefield is a proud member of the National Independent Venue Association, and I ask, and they ask, please support local venues like Littlefield once, we all can. Take another sip of beer here. We are ultimately trying to recreate the pub quiz experience. So, if you've got yourself a drink, cheers. If you don't, and you've got a few minutes, you got maybe a minute or two to grab yourself a drink before the questions begin. Again, you got here very likely through littlefield.com, littlefieldnyc.com. So you don't necessarily need the primer, but it's good to know. You can pick up at Park Life, live streaming on Littlefield, littlefieldnyc.com. Let's talk a little bit about tonight's rules. Rule number 1, don't cheat. Now, it's going to be very tempting for you, if you don't know the answer to something, to quickly look it up. We just ask that you don't. It's no hard and fast rule. I would need to see each and every one of you in order to enforce that. I don't want that. You could be in any state of undress or dress while you watch, so don't cheat. You should wear a mask when social distancing is not possible. Of course, you should have fun. No one should need to remind you to wash your hands, but you should. And of course, I want to thank the Littlefield staff for making this happen. This is fun for me, I'll be honest, but also to be able to shine a spotlight on Littlefield when the physical venue is closed is pretty dear to me. If you want to play along, if you're at home and you want to be able to play along, you can play along. It's bit.ly/PCT 002. You will need to have all caps on that PCT. That is important. You can answer all along. We're going to be looking for team names, and we're also going to be rating your scores at the end. We've got prizes tonight. So if you stick through the game, you play and you play hard and fast, but also if you have the best team name, let's say you don't know the answer to a single question, but you've got the best team name, well, we've got prizes for you too. We've got tickets to Littlefield. Once Littlefield is open, we've got tickets for you. There'll be an email at the bottom of the form that is our answer key tonight, and you can fill that out and leave your email. And if you've won, we'll be communicating with you. Number one, I'll be saying that you won, but then also we'll be communicating to you via email. Also, if you are interested in signing up for Littlefield or the Skint or the Briefly's newsletters, there's opportunities for you to do that as well. All of tonight's questions are multiple choice, A, B, C, D. So if you're only playing on one device and you can't switch back and forth, that's fine. You can jot down you can jot down all of your answers, and then at the end, we'll go back and you can fill those in, and I'll give you some time right after we've gotten through all the questions. So let us begin our questions. It's about 7:10 on the East Coast. Enough time for everyone to have rounded up their clapping. And so let us get started with round number one. Round number one, a new game. Our first question of tonight is, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, didn't have much of a career in live action movies, aside from the Star Wars ones, but he's had a prolific career as a voice actor. Which of these characters was voiced by Mark Hamill? A, the Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. B, Joker in the animated Batman series. C, not Rocky the boxer, but Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Or D, Johnny Bravo. We'll also ask that if you are in the chat, the way to play along is to go to bit.ly/ all caps PCT002. That is the way to have your answer or questions graded by us at the end. Once again, question number one, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, didn't have much of a career in live action movies after Star Wars, but he did have a prolific career as a voice actor. He still does. Which of these characters was voiced by Mark Hamill? Was it A, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo? Was it B, the Joker in Batman the Animated Series? Was it C, Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle? Or was it D, Johnny Bravo? I think you know the answer. Write it down or put it in the form. Normally, when we're doing this live, I would tell you not to yell it out, but in your own home, unless you're competing against someone next to you, feel free to yell out the answer. That's fine. Or if you're watching on YouTube afterwards, scream it out. Let everyone know that you know what the answer is. All right, question number two. George Lucas was so sure that Star Wars was going to be a failure when it first released that instead of attending the premiere, he went on vacation to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg. And while they were on vacation, they came up with the idea for what movie? Was it A, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, B, American Graffiti, C, Willow, or was it D, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark? He definitely did not think that Star Wars was going to be anything after he completed it. So he just decided that he wasn't going. And he went off to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg, as you know, as two normal people do, just decide to go to Hawaii together. Once again, question number two. George Lucas was so sure that Star Wars was going to be a total failure, he skipped the movie premiere and instead went to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg instead and came up with the idea for what movie? A, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, B, American Graffiti, C, Willow, Or D, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark? What movie did they think up instead of going to the premiere of Star Wars? That is question number 2. Question number 3, and the last question in mini rounds number 1. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, is one of only 14 people who have ever received a very specific set of awards. The other winners of these awards are Richard Rodgers, Barbra Streisand, Helen Hayes, Rita Moreno, Liza Minnelli, John Gielgud, Audrey Hepburn, Marvin Hamlish, Jonathan Tunick, Mel Brooks, Mike Nichols, Whoopi Goldberg, and Scott Rudin. That club have all received the same accolade. What is the name of the special honor that they have received? Is it the EGOT? Is it the Grand Slam? Is it the triple whammy? Or is it the golden raspberry? Question number 3. Once again, James Earl Jones, this is question number 3, is the voice of Darth Vader and is one of only 14 people who have ever received a very specific set of awards. The other winners, Richard Rodgers, Barbra Streisand, Helen Hayes, Rita Moreno, Liza Minnelli, John Gielgud, Audrey Hepburn, Marvin Hamlish, Jonathan Tunick, Mel Brooks, Mike Nichols, Whoopi Goldberg, and Scott Rudin. What is the name of the special honor that all 14 of these people share? Was it A, EGOT, B, Grand Slam, C, triple whammy, D, golden raspberry? Think you know the answer? Think you know what the other 3 answers are? We'll find out when the game is over. I just want to say, one of our presenting sponsors is The Skint. It is a website that you can find at theskint.com, but it's also an email newsletter. I suggest you sign up while we're all in quarantine. They're sending out 2 emails a week. It's free and cheap New York every day. That's the tagline. But while we're all at home, it's free and cheap that you can take care of at home. So as you can see, this is the most recent post on the site. Find out everything you need to do. Head over to theskint.com when this is all over, one of tonight's presenting sponsors. Now we are heading to round 2, entitled Round 2 D2. Here we go. Question number 1 on round 2, which is also just known as question number 4. I'm going to stop with this round 2, question 1 stuff and just go with question number 4. Princess Leia, the wonderful Carrie Fisher, married Bruno Kirby in this movie, where they both played the best friends of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Which movie stars Carrie Fisher, who gets married to Bruno Kirby, and those two are best friends of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan? Is it A, Sleepless in Seattle? Is it B, You've Got Mail? Is it C, When Harry Met Sally? Or is it D, Love Actually? In the movie, Carrie Fisher is supposed to go on a date with Billy Crystal. It doesn't work out. Instead, goes to hang out with Bruno Kirby. They hit it off. They get married. Anyway, question number 4 one more time. Princess Leia, the wonderful Carrie Fisher, married Bruno Kirby in this movie, where they both played the best friends of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Was it A, Sleepless in Seattle? Was it B, You've Got Mail? Was it C, When Harry Met Sally? Or was it D, Love Actually? That was question number 4. Heading on to question number 5. Question number 5. Carrie Fisher's mother, Debbie Reynolds, had a hotel in Las Vegas from 1993 through 1999. In 1999, she sold that hotel to this sports entertainment company, which was recently declared an essential business by the Florida state government. Was the buyer of the hotel A, the World Wrestling Federation? Was it B, Ultimate Fighting Championship? Was it C, National Football League? Or was it D, ESPN? I don't know what ESPN stands for, or if it stands for anything rather. Every sport something network? I don't know. Question number 5, one more time. Carrie Fisher's mother, Debbie Reynolds, had a hotel in Las Vegas that she owned from 1993 through 1999. She sold that hotel in 1999 to this sports entertainment company, which was recently declared an essential business by the Florida state government. Was it A, the WWF? Was it B, UFC? Was it C, the NFL? Or was it D, ESPN? Which of those companies bought a hotel from Debbie Reynolds in 1999? That was question number 5. We're going to head on to question number 6. Question number 6, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980. That was the same year that this movie was released that also had Carrie Fisher in it. I say featured, she was in the movie. She's not a huge starring role, but she's in the movie and unmistakable. Was it A, The Man with One Red Shoe? B, Blues Brothers? C, Hannah and Her Sisters? Or D, Shampoo? Shampoo is the product you use in your hair. I don't know how many people are doing that now in quarantine, but normally that's how that happens. It's also a movie. Was that the movie that came out in 1980 that featured Carrie Fisher? We'll have to find out. Question number 6, one more time. Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5 was released in 1980, the same year as this movie, which also featured Carrie Fisher. Now, if you want to split hairs, normally we're at the bar, someone will come up to me afterwards and they'll say, actually, she wasn't really featured in the movie, but she was in the movie. That's fine. She's in this movie. Was it The Man with One Red Shoe? Was it Blues Brothers? Was it Hannah and Her Sisters? Or was it Shampoo? One of those movies that came out in 1980 had Carrie Fisher in it. It is your job to answer this question. That's question number 6. One of the other presenting sponsors is The Briefly. The Briefly is a daily email newsletter from me. I'm the person that puts The Briefly together every day. It's hyper-local New York City news. So, if you want to know about today, the subway overnight shutdown, the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, or how New York is going to rely on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to reimagine education, whatever that might mean, that's where you want to go. You want to go to thebriefly.com. Well, after this is all over, we can head over there and sign up if you'd like. Or you just take a look at what's on the site. Round 3, or as we're going to call it tonight, round 3PO. Round 3PO begins with question number 7. Question number 7, you can see Anthony Daniels perform as C-3PO in all 9 movies in the Skywalker saga, and he's made special appearances as the Golden Protocol droid in a number of TV shows, movies, video games, and even other movies, like I said before. Which of these never included Anthony Daniels portraying C-3PO? This isn't a trick question. Anthony Daniels never appears in one of these movies, and C-3PO doesn't appear in any one of these movies. This isn't a trick question where I, say something and then someone else portrays C-3PO. No. One of these movies he's not in. Was it A, the Star Wars Holiday Special? Was it B, Solo, a Star Wars story? Was it C, The Muppet Show? Or was it D, the Lego Movie? Which one of these does not feature C-3PO or Anthony Daniels portraying C-3PO? Pardon me. Question number 7, one more time. You can see Anthony Daniels as C-3PO in all 9 movies of the Skywalker saga, and he's made special appearances as the Golden Protocol droid in TV shows, other movies, video games. Which of these has never included Anthony Daniels as C-3PO or C-3PO at all? Was it the Star Wars Holiday Special? Was it Solo, a Star Wars story? Was it The Muppet Show? Or was it the Lego Movie? Which one C-3PO never appears? That's the question. All right, question number 7 is complete. We're going to move on to question number 8. If, by the way, if you've missed a question, that's fine. Let me know in the chat, and I will go back at the end, and we will we'll make sure that you get a chance to answer some of the early questions that you might have missed, or maybe you blacked out for a second and missed question number 7. So we'll go back and we'll do that question if you need to. Question number 8. The Star Wars Holiday Special featured which of the Golden Girls, starring as Akmena, a gruff bartender from the Mos Eisley Cantina, who sings and dances the song "Good Night but Not Goodbye" to the patrons to get them to leave? Was it A, Betty White? Was it B, Rue McClanahan? Was it C, Estelle Getty? Or was it D, B, Arthur? That is the question. The Star Wars Holiday Special featured which of the Golden Girls? Once again, question number 8. The Star Wars Holiday Special featured which of the Golden Girls, starring as Akmena, a gruff bartender at the Mos Eisley Cantina, who sings and dances the song "Good Night but Not Goodbye" to the patrons to get them all to leave? Was it A, Betty White? Was it B, Rue McClanahan? Was it C, Estelle Getty? Or was it D, B, Arthur? Outstanding. Which of the Golden Girls has appeared in the Star Wars Holiday Special, which you can't find on DVD, not officially anyway. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or some darker corners of the internet. They've done their best to scrub it. Apparently, in exchange for doing the DVD commentary for Star Wars, Carrie Fisher exchanged that for a copy of the Star Wars Christmas special, and she liked to say afterwards that she would put it on at parties mostly just to get people to leave because it was so awful. All right, that was question number 8. We're going to move on to question number 9. Question number 9. While the Star Wars Holiday Special isn't considered canon in the Star Wars mythos, there have been multiple references through the years to ideas that were first introduced in the special. As a matter of fact, Boba Fett, the bounty hunter, made his first appearance in any Star Wars movie, show, anything, in the holiday special in an animated segment. So the whole special actually was centered around a fictional Star Wars holiday that was recently referenced in the TV show, The Mandalorian. So the question is, what fictional Star Wars holiday was made reference to in The Mandalorian? Was it A, Freedom Day? Was it B, Life Day? Was it C, Decemberween? Or was it D, Unification Day? That is the question. Question number 9. Once again, the Star Wars Holiday Special isn't considered canon in the Star Wars mythos. Even before Disney bought Lucasfilm and Star Wars, it wasn't considered canon even then. It never happened. It was a fever dream. It only happened on CBS. None of the Star Wars writers apparently were involved in that, outside of saying that it had to happen, that everyone was centered around Wookiees who don't speak English and don't have subtitles. CBS wasn't thrilled about that idea. So while it wasn't canon, there have been multiple references throughout the years to things that were first introduced in the special. Obviously, as I was saying, the biggest thing within Star Wars was that Boba Fett was introduced in the Star Wars Holiday Special. And he's gone into the Sarlacc. Anyway, the question is, what fictional Star Wars holiday was the center of the holiday special and was recently referenced in The Mandalorian? Was it A, Freedom Day? Was it B, Life Day? Was it C, Decemberween? Or was it D, Unification Day? That is question number 9. Something's going on outside, and that's fine. Think you know the answer? Think you've written it down? You got enough time? We're going to ask the question twice. We are going to move on to round four. Round four, which I like to call the Ask-a-Lorian. So let's move on to question number 10. Question number 10. In The Mandalorian, Werner Herzog plays the client, arguably season 1's villain, and he's awesome at it. Herzog is better known as a director instead of an actor. He was called one of the most important film directors alive at some point. One of his documentaries was this 2005 documentary about the downfall of a man who befriends wild animals. What is the name of the 2005 movie directed by Werner Herzog about a man who befriends wild animals and his downfall? Was it A, Grizzly Man? Was it B, Tiger King? Was it C, Flipper, The True Story? Or was it D, 30 for 30, Michael Vick? Question number 10. Once more, in The Mandalorian, Werner Herzog plays the client, arguably season 1's villain. Herzog is better known as a director than an actor, and he's been called one of the most important film directors alive. One of his documentaries was this 2005 documentary about the downfall of a man who likes to befriend wild animals. Was that documentary Grizzly Man, Tiger King, Flipper, The True Story, or D, 30 for 30, Michael Vick? Which of these was a documentary directed by Werner Herzog? That was question number 10. Question number 11. These awkward pauses between questions, they normally are fine in pub trivia. At this point, it's just me staring at you and you staring at me while you wait for me to get to the next question. Question number 11. Everybody loves the child, AKA Baby Yoda, right? What is not to love about a little green 50-year-old child who eats frogs alive, wears fur coats, and is obsessed with the ball of a gear shifter? Speaking of Yoda, the 900-year-old Yoda, which is not the same character as the Yoda from The Mandalorian as Baby Yoda, he was voiced by Muppet legend Frank Oz, who is the voice of so many iconic Muppets. But one of these was not voiced by Frank Oz. So, which of these Muppets was not voiced by Frank Oz? Was it Fozzie Bear? Was it Miss Piggy? Was it Kermit the Frog? Or was it Animal? Which one is not voiced by Frank Oz? The voice of Yoda is he. Question number 11, one more time. Everybody loves the child, AKA Baby Yoda. I won't hear otherwise. You out there, no matter who you are, you love Baby Yoda. And that is what it comes down to. What is not to love about a 50-year-old child who eats frogs alive, wears fur coats, and is obsessed with a gear shifter, and is the subject of some great memes? The 900-year-old Yoda, which is not the same character as Baby Yoda, was voiced by Muppet legend Frank Oz, who's the voice of so many iconic Muppets. However, which one of these Muppets was not voiced by Frank Oz? Was it A, Fozzie Bear, B, Miss Piggy, C, Kermit the Frog, or D, Animal? Animal had to be voiced by someone. Letting everyone enjoy one of those pauses again. We're between questions. It's just you and me. The question is over. You probably know your answer. I mean, you've got a 25% chance, even if you just guess. Now it's just you and me. It's just you and me in the moment, watching each other. Well, I'm watching you in theory, but I can't see you. But you're doing a great job killing that bottle of wine tonight. You deserve it too. It's been a rough 8 weeks, and here we are. It's pop culture trivia, Wednesday night. You don't really have responsibilities tomorrow. Unless you're an essential worker, then you have responsibilities, but you still deserve that wine, I will just say. All right, let's move on to question number 12. Question number 12. Cara Dune was one of my favorite characters on The Mandalorian. She was portrayed by former MMA fighter Gina Carano. You might have also seen Carano in the Fast and Furious 6 or Deadpool, but she was also Crush on this 2008 competition TV show. Was it A, Battle Dome? Was it B, American Ninja Warrior? Was it C, Battle Bowl? Or was it D, American Gladiators? Which one starred Gina Carano going under the name Crush? Question 12, one more time. Cara Dune was one of my favorite characters on The Mandalorian. Cara Dune was portrayed by former MMA fighter Gina Carano. You may have seen Carano in movies like Fast and Furious 6 or Deadpool, but she was also Crush on this 2008 competition TV show. Was the show that Gina Carano was Crush on Battle Dome? Was it American Ninja Warrior? Was it Battle Bowl? Or was it American Gladiators? Which one was Gina Carano on? Now, we're at ostensibly the end of round 4. And I guess before we get to round 5, the thing that I want to say is that I hope to see you here next week. I'll be telling you the theme for next week at the end. Of course, if you've registered at littlefieldnyc.com for next week already, you know what the theme is. But I'm pretty excited about next week as well. The topic is one of my favorites. I won't have a table full of stuff about it, but even still. So next week, we'll be back here 7 o'clock. I hope to see everyone here again. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Zoom, if you're watching after the fact, these are archived on Littlefield's YouTube channel. So if you want to sit down with a friend maybe later or have some kind of watch party, don't tell them that you've already seen this. Just watch it together and then rank each other, see who gets the right answers, and then you'll be the smarter friend. And who doesn't want that? All right, let's move on to round 5. Round 5, looking for love in Alderaan places. Let's move on to round 5. Question number 13. Star Wars is the number 2 movie series of all time with $10.3 billion earned at the box office. Of course, behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a juggernaut and has earned $22.6 billion to date. Of course, it's over the course of many movies. But this question, the question is, what is the number 3 movie series? It has 10 movies and has earned $9.2 billion in worldwide box office sales. $10 million or $9.2 billion and 10 movies. Was it A, James Bond, B, The Wizarding World, C, Shrek, or D, The Fast and the Furious? 10 movies, $9.2 billion. Once again, question number 13, Star Wars is the number 2 movie series of all time with $10.3 billion earned at the box office across 11 movies, but also 3 of them were re-released, and also the Force Awakens was also re-released in 3D once, and everything came back. So it's been a few movies, and quite a bit. They've earned $10.3 billion at the box office, and it's only behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which everyone knows has had 1 million movies and has earned $22.6 billion to date. What is the number 3 movie series with 10 movies and $9.2 billion in worldwide box office sales? Is it James Bond? Is it J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World? Is it Shrek? Or is it D, The Fast and the Furious? If I didn't write this question, I would tell you what I think the answer is. But, you know, I wrote the question, so you only have me to blame. What's everyone drinking tonight? Let me know. Say it out loud. Oh, I accidentally clicked the next one. I guess we're moving on. Adam Driver is the man behind the mask of Kylo Ren for the last 3 movies of the Skywalker saga. Adam Driver is also the object of affection of ongoing jokes from this HBO late night host, whose comments included the phrases, "Step on my throat, Adam Driver, you rudely large man," and "Break my fingers, you brooding mountain"? Who is the late night host that has an obsession with Adam Driver? Is it A, Jimmy Fallon? Is it B, James Corden? Is it C, John Oliver? Or is it D, Seth Meyers? See, at least in the chats, the panelists here, I see at least one person minimum is enjoying some bourbon tonight. Cheers to you, sir. Question number 14, one more time. Adam Driver is the man behind the mask of Kylo Ren. He's done that for the last 3 movies of the Skywalker saga. Adam Driver is also the object of affection for ongoing jokes from this HBO late night host, whose comments about him have included the phrases, "Step on my throat, Adam Driver, you rudely large man," and "Break my fingers, you brooding mountain." Who is the late night host that with an Adam Driver obsession? Is it Jimmy Fallon? Is it James Corden? Is it John Oliver? Or is it Seth Meyers? A, B, C, and D. Kudos to the folks who said that tonight they're enjoying a cup o' noodles and also someone enjoying blue milk and a great bottle of Merlot as well. Everyone, this is from me, Rob Blatt, the host of Pop Culture Trivia, streaming through 4 Littlefield that you can get tickets for at littlefieldnyc.com. Telling you, you've earned it. Let's move on to question number 15. Question number 15. May the 4th is known as Star Wars Day, and its origins trace back to 1979, where a celebratory ad in a British newspaper congratulated the newly elected prime minister with an ad stating, "May the 4th be with you." Who was the British prime minister that was congratulated on May 4th, 1979? Was it Winston Churchill? Was it Margaret Thatcher? Was it C, Theresa May? Or was it D, Jimmy Carter? Who was the British prime minister who was congratulated on May the 4th, 1979? Again, May the 4th is known as Star Wars Day. This year, the last of the Skywalker saga movies was released to Disney Plus. And everyone has their opinions about that movie. No one needs to know mine, but May the 4th was known as Star Wars Day. Its origins trace back to 1979. I loved that movie. Where a celebratory ad in a British newspaper congratulated the newly elected Prime Minister of Britain with an ad stating, "May the 4th be with you." Who was the Prime Minister that was congratulated on May 4th, 1979? Was it A, Winston Churchill? B, I feel like I can't give anything away, so I need to snap now with each one. Was it B, Margaret Thatcher? Was it C, Theresa May? Or was it D, Jimmy Carter? That is all 15 questions. If you're in the chat and you are looking, if you're looking for any of the earlier questions, let me know. I've got all of the chats open right now, I can see. So just let us know if you want me to go back to any of the earlier questions. I will do so for you if you missed some of the early ones. Also, I know that some of our friends on YouTube are delayed a little bit. So I'm just going to be vamping a little bit until I get an answer from them, or at least give them a few seconds. I think there's about a 20 to 30-second delay there. So we've got plenty of time for us to talk to each other, for us to enjoy our drinks. I was very excited at the grocery store. I saw a beer that I normally drink while I host trivia at Park Life on a regular basis. This isn't it, because I got too excited about it and I drank all of the beer that I had bought before today. But needless to say, I had planned on having a Sloop Juice IPA tonight, but instead I'm drinking a Confliction Sour Ale, which is just as good to me. However, I did have that connection for a moment, and I thought to myself that I should save one. However, we're all inside all the time. So, and I think I don't see anyone requesting any specifics, but while I'm giving everyone time to finalize their answers, left click, here we go. While I'm giving everyone to finalize the answers, I'm gonna go through some of the stuff that's sitting behind me. I'm gonna be polite to everyone, let everyone catch up. Got some, there's some stuff that's not, to me, that's not as interesting, but still fun, like a Funko mug, C3PO one. There's a Jabba the Hutt one floating around here somewhere. There we go. Fun story about this lightsaber. I'll pull it out here. I went to go see The Force Awakens Star Wars Episode 1 in theaters. I was a senior in high school, and I cut school that day to go see it and wait the day that tickets were on sale. Some friends of mine all cut school just so we could sit outside a movie theater. So when they released the tickets, we would have first pick. And we decided in the middle of the day that it wasn't enough that wasn't nerdy enough that we were all sitting outside waiting for Star Wars, but we all had to go and buy lightsabers. So someone went over to, it was a Toys R Us or maybe it was a Kmart. And so like one by one, we all went over there while other people held our spot in line, and we bought a series of lightsabers. So that is the story behind this lightsaber. Yeah. If you remember when the Star Wars Special Edition trilogy was released to VHS, that's this guy, and also this guy. You know, if you're interested in the widescreen or the 4x3, the letterbox version, both of these I found on the street in New York City. So, you know, living here has its advantages at times. I believe this was actually a fun story. I think that this Stormtrooper helmet I found backstage at Littlefield on a Halloween multiple years ago. So the story behind this helmet has been with me since then. It had to have been at least 5-6 years. And then of course, I thought I was so smart in 1999. I worked at Toys R Us. And so I was like, oh, I have first crack at all of the Star Wars toys that were coming out for the, sorry, not the Force Awakens, Phantom Menace was episode 1. But yeah, so I got a whole bunch of these, and they are worth roughly less than what I paid for them 21 years ago. So who's looking smart now, huh? Certainly not the guy who has almost a large box in his closet full of them. And the rest of the stuff, you know, it's all Star Wars stuff. Who doesn't have a whole table worth of Star Wars stuff or enough for a night of questions? Anyway, I think our intermission is over. Everyone's had time to relax, to fill out their answers. And we got no questions on YouTube. We've got no questions on Zoom. Those watching at home after the fact on YouTube, sorry, I can't get to your questions. Before we get to the answers, let's go over, before we get to your answers, let's go over the questions. Which one of these characters was voiced by Mark Hamill? I should say right now, I'm going to close off. I'm doing this now. I'm going to close off our, whatchamacallit, getting the answers in, marking the time. Which one of these characters was voiced by Mark Hamill? The answer to that is the Joker. The Joker was voiced by Mark Hamill. Still is now and then. Mark Hamill did not voice Shaggy or Rocky or Johnny Bravo. Voiced the Joker. Question 2, while playing hooky away from the premiere of Star Wars, did George Lucas and Steven Spielberg think up Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, American Graffiti, Willow, or Indiana Jones, The Raiders of the Lost Ark? This one is a little bit of a tricky question because all of those are Steven Spielberg and George Lucas movies. However, it is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark was the movie that they thought of together while on vacation in Hawaii. James Earl Jones is one of 14 people who have earned what honor? The EGOT, a Grand Slam, a triple whammy, or the Golden Raspberry? The answer, of course, is the EGOT, the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. Question number 4, Carrie Fisher married Bruno Kirby in what movie where they both played the best friends of Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan? It is not Sleepless in Seattle. It's not You've Got Mail. It's not Love Actually. It is my wife, Hello Meg, is my wife's favorite movie, and the reason that I included this question, When Harry Met Sally. Question number 5. What sports entertainment company bought Debbie Reynolds' hotel in Las Vegas in 1999? This is the truth. It's the World Wrestling Federation. They also had a restaurant in Times Square called The World. Neither of those ventures worked out. The World Wrestling Federation, the WWF Las Vegas, never opened. Instead, it was a temporary hotel for a period of time before they eventually sold it off. Question number 6. Episode 6 was released on not the same day, there's an old version of the question, it's the same year as this movie that also starred or also had Carrie Fisher in it. The answer is The Blues Brothers. She plays someone who consistently wants to kill, I believe it's Jake Blues. Question number 7. I like this one because it is a little bit of a trick question. So, which of these never included Anthony Daniels portraying C-3PO or C-3PO? It's not the Star Wars Holiday Special. He's in there. The Muppet Show had an entire episode dedicated to Star Wars. He did voice C-3PO in the Lego movie. And Anthony Daniels was in Solo, a Star Wars story, but C-3PO was not. So the answer is Solo, a Star Wars story, a Star Wars story. Question number 8. Which Golden Girl acted, sang, danced in the Star Wars Christmas Holiday Special? The answer, B. Arthur. Outstanding. Question number 9. What fictional Star Wars holiday is referenced in The Mandalorian? I like this question. Freedom Day is from Futurama. Unification Day is from Firefly. Decemberween is from Homestar Runner, which means Life Day is Star Wars' fictional Christmas holiday. Question number 10. What Werner Herzog documentary was about the downfall of a man who befriended wild animals? The answer to that is Grizzly Man. I also recommend you go check out the video. It's on New York Public Library's YouTube account for Werner Herzog reading Go the Fuck to Sleep. It's a pretty good one. Question number 11, which of these Muppets was not voiced by Frank Oz? The voice of Yoda, Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, for some reason, Kermit the Frog is split, or D, Animal. The answer is Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog was voiced by Jim Henson. Kermit the Frog. Question number 12, Gina Carano was known as Crush on what TV show? The answer to that in 2008 was American Gladiators. It was hosted by Hulk Hogan and Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter. It's a very odd pairing, and it did not last very long. What is the number 3 movie series in box office history? Not James Bond, because he's got 25 movies. It's not Shrek, who just has not been that popular. The Fast and the Furious also hasn't reached that. It is the Wizarding World, not the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, because amongst those 10 movies includes the Fantastic Beasts movies. Wizarding World. Number 14, who is the late night host with an Adam Driver obsession? Jimmy Fallon, James Corden, John Oliver, or Seth Meyers? If you are a fan of John Oliver, you would know the answer to that question. Or I guess if you watched all of the other ones, you would know that they were not the person who had that obsession. And of course, the British Prime Minister who helped originate the phrase, "May the Fourth be with you," was Margaret Thatcher. So now is a slightly awkward moment where the laptop, that is also my camera, I'll have to do a little bit of work on here to tabulate our winners tonight. Here we go. We got some excellent team names. We've got scores in. I'm pulling it up right now. It's a little wobbly because it's on a stand on top of 2 different tables. So let us, here we go. All right, now I just need to sort this. here we go. Ooh, interesting. Nice. Okay, so with 1 point of a possible 15, let's give it up for Max Rebo. Han Duo with 6 points. Kylo Ren, better than Adam Driver, 8 points. Anakin's Daycare, that's a pretty good one, 8 points as well. Wooklin Wine, all right, that's pretty excellent as well, 9 points. Baby Yoda ate my baby, 9 points. DRW, 9 points. Baby Yoda stands, 9 points. Then we've got ourselves a 6-way tie for 3rd place. Do or do not, we shall win, 10 points. BBN, solid, also 10 points. Vague Space, 10 points. Salacious Be Real, that's pretty good, 10 points. Cell Block Tango 1138 with 10 points. A deep cut for George Lucas there. COVID 3PO, that's good. COVID 3PO with 10 points. Justice for Yaddle. Justice for Yaddle. That's better than I want to admit. Justice for Yaddle right there. Yaddle is, you know what? Look it up yourself. Yaddle. The Space Miners from Kessel, also with 11 points. The Power Converters, 11 points. Here's some money. Go see a Star Wars. That's excellent. That's an excellent poll for both May the 4th and this week. And Padme's Naboobies with 11 points. With 11 points as well. And we have ourselves a tie for first. I would normally say, give you an additional question, a 16th question. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to declare 2 winners. Coruscant, the excellent portmanteau between obviously Quarantine and Coruscant with 12 points, and Kung Fu Panda Baba also with 12 points. Kung Fu Panda Baba and Coruscant. If you put your emails down, we will be contacting you. You have won tickets to shows at Littlefield once Littlefield opens. Justice for Yaddle, you have also won yourself some tickets for best team name, and also Cell Block Tango 1138. So we've got ourselves 4 winners for tonight. And I want to thank you all for playing. We've spent an hour together. I love hosting trivia for Littlefield. And I want to thank you for allowing Littlefield to come in to your home, you know, on this night. And outside of that, remember that we are back next week. We're back next week with more trivia, 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Kimmy Schmidt is our topic. I don't know if you're aware that next week on the 12th, there will be a new Kimmy Schmidt special on Netflix. On the 13th, we will be here on the 13th. On the 12th, you can watch the Kimmy Schmidt special on Netflix. But of course, the 13th is trivia. So for me, Rob Blatt, for the briefly.com, and the skint.com, and for everyone at Littlefield, I want to say thank you. And I want to once again say that we will see you next week. And we'll see you next week right back here, Littlefield NYC. You can find us on YouTube as well. And we will see you soon. Thank you so much.